Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's edition of the CrossFit Games Update Show. I'm Sean Woodland with Tommy Marquez and Pat Sherwood. Yesterday, we looked at the men's side of the house at 16.5. Looking at the women's side today, and I saw some people put up some scores just personally that I thought were pretty impressive. And then I saw the top women, and then I realized just how much they dominated this workout.
And this is one of the beautiful things about our sport. It doesn't look that hard, right? Oh, I could do this sub 8. You have to go out and experience this. Find a barbell, find some place to do some burpees. Then you'll realize the scores being put up for this are mind-boggling.
Right. And I know what that pain feels like, and I'm very happy that now that we've repeated this workout, unless we're going to see a three-peat, which has never happened before with any open workout, we don't have to do this workout again.
Let's not jinx that. Yeah. We could see this one next year. We had a change at the top of the leaderboard as far as 16.5 was concerned. We thought Jamie Greene was going to win it. Her videotape was reviewed and she received a 20-second minor penalty because it was determined that 4 of her reps were no reps. So that means that Samantha Briggs is your winner for 16.5 with a time of 7 minutes, 36 seconds. Kristen Holta finishes second, and then Jamie Greene will drop to third with a adjusted time of 7 minutes, 43 seconds, and a whole host of Games veterans up there in the top 6 on the leaderboard. 4 women, even with the penalty here, Jamie Greene, 4 women go sub 8 minutes on this workout.
Blazing fast, right? And one of those names that you're not shocked at all to hear, like, well, of course, right. Samantha Briggs. This has her written all over it. She's one of those crazy people that loves to suffer. The weight's right in her wheelhouse, and she just blew this thing out of the water. Yeah, 7 minutes, 36 seconds, second worldwide in the open. And then Kristen Holta, super impressive. She had a great time on 14.5 back when this was released a couple years ago, 8 minutes and 52 seconds, and she took almost a minute off of that. So even an athlete so incredible made a tremendous amount of improvement. She finishes 13th worldwide in the open. She's having a heck of a year.
And speaking of improvements, the 2 people right behind them made tremendous improvements as well. Camille Blanc-Bazinet was already elite in this workout. She was 7th worldwide in this workout when it came out in 2014, and she improved by over a minute to go down to 7:50. And then Jamie Greene, say what you want about how impressive she's been this open, but the first time this workout came around, she was 10:08. She's 2 minutes and change faster than she was 2 years ago, so a tremendous improvement across the board.
And back to Sam Briggs, this is her 8th career open event win. That ties her for the lead all time with Josh Bridges. Now, I know she's extremely fit, but why is she so good in the open?
I would love to have some crazy answer for this. We've got to talk to her so many times over the years. She trains maniacally hard. It's one of her greatest strengths, but also maybe arguably one of her greatest flaws as well, because she'll beat herself into the ground, and she's banged up every now and then because she just can't shut it off. But that special thing that she has allows her to be literally one of the greatest in our sport.
Yeah, and you look at how she's done historically over the open. She's competed in 4. 1 year she was injured. She's got 2 open wins and now a 2nd place finish. And we talk about this ability to just kind of go into that dark place. Sometimes in the open we get a test like 16.5 where, skill, strength, those stuffs are minor components. The major component is just the ability to suffer and effort. And she has that better than almost anyone save maybe Josh Bridges.
She can put her head down and go.
Yeah, Sam Briggs takes 16.5, but it is Jamie Greene who will take the overall open win. And for the first time ever, we have a woman who is going to the team side of the competition, winning the open. Samantha Briggs will finish in 2nd place. Camille Blanc-Bazinet is there in 7th. Sarah Sigmundsdottir up there as well. Bazinet with 2 4th-place finishes. Annie Thorisdottir goes from 1st last year. She's 10th this year. And in 2015, Katrin Davidsdottir won the Games after finishing 14th in the Open. Katrin Davidsdottir finished 14th in the Open this year, but Jamie Greene gets the victory and says despite this, she is still going team.
Well, we were pretty sure we were going to always stay team because we had a few others qualify as well. So Tammy qualified 23rd, so she could have easily gone too, and a few others, but we all stuck together and decided it's harder to find a good team than be good on your own.
I respect the fact that Jamie Greene has made a commitment and she's going to keep it, but how do you not go to the individual competition after this?
I don't know, and I'm going to take this time, Sean, really to plead to her teammates of CrossFit Yes. Do whatever you can, please, to get her to go individual. I don't care if you have to lock her out of your affiliate, give her the silent treatment, maybe take her gym bag hostage until she agrees to go individual, but do whatever you can. I want to see her go individual. We want to see her. The world wants to see her. It's kind of like having a Ferrari in your garage, but you lost the keys. It's there. You got a taste of what it's capable, but you just can't open it up. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
I feel your pain. We've got some passionate people in the office feel the same way. When I did the Skype interview with her earlier, her whole team was almost there, or most of her team behind the scenes, and I asked them, like, how is this happening? You know, what are the conversations been like? And they basically said, hey, we told her, we get it. If you want to go, you can go individual. And she, they said no. She said, I made a commitment to you guys, and going team.
Well, if she were to go individual, there was a time when winning the Open actually was a very good predictor of as far as success goes at the games. We showed you the men's numbers yesterday and how accurate that has been over the past few years. It's kind of a different story with the women. If you go back to the beginning, Annie Thorisdottir and Kristen Clever in 2011 finished tied for first in the Open, and they go 1 and 2 respectively at the games, with Thorisdottir winning. Kristen Clever then wins it in 2012. She finished 4th, and Briggs in 13. But then 2014, Sam Briggs wins the Open, doesn't qualify for the games, and then last year, Annie Thorisdottir wins the Open, and she had to withdraw. She finished in 38. So on the women's side, it's a little more in doubt than it is on the men's. We've talked a lot about Sam Briggs, talked a lot about Jamie Greene during the Open as well. But who else has been standing out to you that maybe we haven't spent the right amount of time talking about?
I'm going to focus on a former champ, and it might not be the one that you think of. Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet, the 2014 champ. Now, she didn't have the 2015 at the games that she wanted to. After finishing first the year before, she dropped to 13th. And if you look at her scores in the Open, 16.4 is a bit of a stumble, 90th worldwide on that. She did that back home at altitude in Boulder, Colorado, and I saw her. She was here at the office the other day. She did 16.5 at sea level twice, kicked butt on that, and now she's 7th worldwide in the Open. I think Camille's going to have a much different, and by that I mean a better performance at the 2016 games, which I expect her to easily qualify for, than she did last year in 2015.
For me, it's a relatively new name at the top of the Open leaderboard, and that's Alexis Johnson. She's 9th worldwide in the Open, and I'm going to go ahead and say I think she's going to qualify for the CrossFit Games for the very first time this year as an individual. Every year we see an athlete, especially on the women's side, show up in the top 10 of the worldwide Open leaderboard, and then they go on to make it to the CrossFit Games for their very first time. And really, if she wants to, she's going to be in the South Regional. This is her best chance. 4 of the 5 women who qualified out of that region, our regional last year, are gone. They've either moved regions or they're not competing, and you can't really set up a better avenue for her to make her first CrossFit Games than she has right now.
You mentioned regionals, and right now there are some athletes who are hoping that some things shake out and they're allowed to get into regionals. 2 big names that we know aren't going to go are Jen Jones, who finishes 33rd in the Southwest, and Gretchen Kittleberger in the Mid-Atlantic. She's 36th. I mean, 2 shocking things to see right there as far as Kittleberger and Jones are concerned, but to me, Jones is the bigger surprise there.
It's going to be absolutely nuts not to see Jen Jones at the games. I mean, every year we go and, we interview the athletes, in the first couple days beforehand, and there's ones you used to see all the time, and now Jen Jones is going to be gone. She's got a blog out there. Go ahead, check it out. It's linked to her Instagram account, and she just says, quite frankly, she tried, but she's banged up from years of gymnastics, and CrossFit competitors, they put themselves through the paces more than we could ever imagine. She's just feeling all that combined.
Yeah, and there were some rumors to start the year possibly that she could be going team because of those injuries. It's nice to still see her kind of put herself out there and at least give it a go, but really, at this level, she's made the games a ton of times. She's won multiple regions, and you just really wish her the best and hope she gets back and healthy.
Certainly. When you look at some of the other age divisions on the leaderboard, there are some pretty incredible performances worth talking about. One from Sydney Sullivan, who is the defending 14, 15-year-old champion at the games. She ages up. She's in the 16 to 17-year-old division this year, and she just dominated. Never finished lower than 5th. First place, second place in there. The only place she didn't finish was 4th, almost finished for the whole cycle over 5 events. And she is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And other age groups out there, who do we need to be keeping an eye on now heading into the Masters qualifier and beyond?
Well, for me, it's one of the most resilient athletes I've come across, and that's Cheryl Brost. She's a multi-year games competitor on the individual level for the women. She was 7th in 2011. In 2012, she was 15th. 2013, her season ended a little bit early. She had an Achilles rupture that, she had to bounce back from. She did. In 2014, she aged into the Masters division. She took 2nd in the 40 to 44. Last year, she was 4th in that same division. Now she's up an age bracket in the 45th to 49. And so far, she's having a phenomenal year. 1st or 2nd in every single open workout, and she's hands down the top dog in that division right now.
I'm going to add a new name to the mix. We chat about a lot of the same names because these people have consistent performance. Here's one I think you should learn the ring of. That's Helen Harding, an Australian. She's in the 40 to 44-year-old division. She took 1st. She had 2 first-place finishes and 2 thirds, only 10 little points total when it was all said and done. She just turned 40, so she's the young woman in the category, out of CrossFit Range of Motion. Only been doing training in CrossFit for 1 to 2 years, rocking a 219 Fran. I think this is somebody that could make it to Carson and shake things up.
Yeah, we have the Masters qualifier right around the corner. Then it's on to regionals. That's going to do it for us for today. For Pat Sherwood and Tommy Marquez, I'm Sean Woodland, and we leave you with another look at one of our top moments from the 2016 Reebok CrossFit Games Open.